In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 24th, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Arkansas versus Texas Agricultural and Mechanical. The Arkansas Razorbacks head to Arlington, Texas on Saturday for a Southeastern Conference showdown with the Texas Aggies. Arkansas kept its record perfect with a 38-27 victory over Missouri State last Saturday. Arkansas gained 597 yards of offense but was too careless with the ball, turning it over 3 times. Texas Aggies bounced back from a disappointing loss to Appalachian State with a 17-9 victory over Miami. The Texas Aggies defense bent, allowing 392 yards of total offense to the Hurricanes, but did not break, allowing just 3 field goals. Arkansas is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 neutral site games and 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 conference games, while the under is 4-0 in their last 4 neutral site games. Texas Aggies is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games against a team with a winning record, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 neutral site games, while the over is 6-2 in their last 8 games against a team with a winning record. Texas Aggies saved their season last week with a primetime win over Miami, and they are back for another primetime affair with Southeastern Conference West foe Arkansas, but this time it's at Jerry World in Dallas. It's a good thing the Aggies have a top 10 scoring defense, because their offense is pitiful. Notre Dame, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Iowa are the only Power 5 schools averaging fewer points per game than the 20.7 that Aggies is averaging. A quarterback change from Haynes King to Max Johnson last week was enough to get the win, but that's only because the Aggies defense held Miami to 3 field goals. They will need a similar effort against Arkansas. There are a lot of contrasting styles in this game. The Razorbacks have the worst pass defense in the country, allowing 353 yards per game. Aggies has one of the worst passing attacks, putting up just over 200 yards per game. Last week, Johnson went 10-20 for just 140 yards. Razorbacks quarterback KJ Jefferson has put up good passing numbers, completing over 70% of his passes so far, but the Aggies pass defense is allowing just 147 passing yards per game, 9th best in college football. This will be a physical matchup, and Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman has the edge in the running game and rushing defense. So the Arkansas Razorbacks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. I cannot get myself to back the over in a game involving Texas Aggies, at least not yet. There are still a lot of unknowns with this offense, especially after Fisher made a quarterback change. The Aggies put up just 17 points against Miami last week, so nothing tells me they are going to crack 20 on Saturday. They have gone under in 5 of their last 7 games dating back to last season. Arkansas has an explosive offense, but this will also be the best defense that it has faced. Texas Aggies has gone under in 9 straight games in the month of September, and I expect that strong trend to continue on Saturday. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Florida Atlantic versus Purdue. It's a non-conference clash on the gridiron as a member of Conference USA makes the trip to the Hoosier State to battle a member of the Big Ten. The Florida Atlantic Owls are on the road as they travel westward to take on the Purdue Boilermakers Saturday night. Florida Atlantic was drubbed 40-14 at home by UCF in a battle of programs from the Sunshine State in their most recent contest last Saturday night. Purdue fell 32-29 in a wild game on the road against Syracuse that saw the majority of its points scored in the 4th quarter. This marks the first time that the 2 programs have met on the gridiron as FBS opponents. UCF created the blueprint that Purdue can follow as teams are able to throw the ball effectively against this Florida Atlantic defense. That's a great sign, as Aiden O'Connell is 4th in the nation with 1,000 passing yards on the season, and Church Jones continues to get the ball thrown his way as a legit number 1 wide receiving option. Purdue has been good against the run defensively as they are holding teams to 91.3 rushing yards per game. And that is how Florida Atlantic gets the offense going, as they are a very balanced offensive attack so far this season. Look for the Boilermakers to bounce back from the narrow loss in the Empire State as they get back in the win column. So the Purdue Boilermakers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both of these quarterbacks love to throw the football, as Perry has a 10-2 touchdown to interception ratio while O'Connell is at 8-1 so far, so defenses are going to struggle as they spread the ball across the field. These teams also can run the ball extremely well, as the Owls are averaging 221.5 rushing yards per game while the Boilermakers are averaging 118 rushing yards. These defenses are good, but both allowed 32-plus points last week, so they can allow a good amount of points. Florida Atlantic has converted on 3-2 of 5-9 of all third down attempts, while Purdue is 4 of 4-7 on third down this season. Florida Atlantic enters this contest having seen the under hit in 3 of their 4 contests this season. The Owls have seen combined point totals of 56 versus Charlotte, 79 at Ohio, 51 versus Southeastern Louisiana, and 54 versus UCF in their games this season. Those games had totals set at 60.5, 50.5, 64, and 62 points respectively, so the Ohio game was the lone contest to go over the mark. Meanwhile, Purdue has gone over the number in each of their 3 games this season. The Boilermakers have seen combined totals of 66 points versus Penn State, 56 versus Indiana State, and 61 at Syracuse on the year. Those games had totals set at 53.5, 54.5, and 59.5 points, respectively, so while they went over the mark, the last 2 are pretty close. With that said, the Boilermakers are out for vengeance, and that means they likely end up in the 40s. This one ends up past the number by a couple of points. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Vanderbilt versus Alabama. The Vanderbilt Commodores travel to Bryant-Denny Stadium to play the No. 2 Alabama Crimson Tide in their collective Southeastern Conference openers. Bryce Young has been brilliant in his post-Heisman season with a gusty game-winning drive against Texas and great performances against Utah State and Monroe. Vandy arrives in Tuscaloosa with a winning record. After steamrolling Hawaii on the island, Clark Lee's men defeated Elon and Northern Illinois but fell to number 23 Wake Forest. The last time Vandy bested the Tide was 1984. The Commodores are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. The Crimson Tide are 16-5 against the spread in their last 21 home games and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 conference games. The over is 5-0 in Commodores' last 5 games overall. The under is 4-1 in Crimson Tide last 5 games overall. The Commodores are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. The road team is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. The Vanderbilt Commodores are better than this line suggests, as they're off to a fine start, have a solid ground game, and just beat an IU in the underdog role last week. However, we know Vandy and its limits, and a 20-point loss to Wake Forest isn't encouraging going to Alabama. A possible look-ahead game for the Alabama Crimson Tide with Arkansas on deck, but they've also covered 6 of their last 8 games when favorites of 35 or more points. Vanderbilt will have issues scoring double-digit points in this game, so the Alabama Crimson Tide to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Tide will look to keep the good times rolling after blanking the Monroe Warhawks in the previous week. However, the Commodores are a much better offensive team than the Warhawks, so I'm expecting the visitors to find the end zone a couple of times and help the overbackers. Also, the Crimson Tide could easily hit a 50-point mark on their own. The under is 4-1 in their previous 5 games, but the total has gone over in 13 of Bama's last 20 contests in September and 6 of its last 9 encounters with the Southeastern Conference East Division. On the other side, the Commodores' previous 5 tilts have gone over the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.